If you're frustrated about the week, if you're feeling some FOMO, release those. It's okay to feel those emotions, but release those emotions because we come back Monday to a market that's going to be a lot smoother than what we had this week. So if you survived this week, you've done the hard part. Good job. Excuse my French, but what the fuck? That was a crazy day, guys. An absolutely crazy sit up in the desk. You're fully alert. You're fully online trying to figure out what just happened. Powell gets on the stage and this market went parabolic. And 95% of the time, you would get a pullback from the market. A revisit back to the EMA cloud to kind of test, are we actually bullish? I'll revisit back to the VWAP. None of that today. Instead, it came and met the market where it was at. We got extremely overbought on small caps even. If we come back to the 65 minute, we got extremely overbought and we held it. And we held it with no pullback. The big volume profit taking that we got into the close was met with buyers. People loading up before next week. And there's probably a ton of people who are experiencing a ton of FOMO. Because keep in mind, this isn't finishing at the high of the day. It's finishing at the all-time high. This now looks like a bull flag. This looks like a classic bull flag, and like we're going to get a continuation higher, right? Ethereum, same thing. All-time highs on the monthly, on the daily, beautiful bull flag higher. And be mindful that on Ethereum, like the monthly is about to flip. And that when the monthly flips, this isn't near the end of the rally. It tells you that this is just literally just the beginning of the rally. So flip on Ethereum here, the flip on Ethereum here. Like there's always a nice confirmation move after you get the actual flip on Ethereum. So we're looking for something like that. And you're doing this, keep in mind the backdrop, you're doing this in a seasonally weak period. This is usually when the market starts puking into September. No, we are full pedal to the floor on the gas, and I can't even say we're headed towards a wall. I can't even say that a future train wreck is coming ahead because I don't see it on the charts. I mean, for SPY, we started to get a breakdown in the daily this week. We reversed right out of the hole. RSI structure is got a bullish divergence here. It looks really strong. And same for the monthly. I'm sorry you guys can hear that. My wife vacuuming. I'm going to close the office door. That's crazy market right now. So yeah, let's talk about accounts. For the small account, we had a pretty brutal loss earlier in the week, and recovered a good amount of that today, up $278. And we didn't even like catch the blunt of that move. In fact, I would say that the best play of the day wasn't anything that made us money. It was just getting out of that MSTR position. That was a huge win. And we did that across all the accounts. After Bitcoin was showing, I might be repeating myself, but Bitcoin was showing this clear higher lows here. And MSTR luckily was lagging that. So it was actually still kind of breaking down in the early morning when Bitcoin gave this like false breakdown. To be more clear, you don't even need to see these higher lows form. All you need to see to know to get out of a position like that is the lack of instant confirmation. This actually kind of looks like an inverse cup and handle, but it's not even really important. You just need to know that this key level, like this is the third test of it, you got the breakdown and then the candle recovered. The instant that candle goes from green to red, you get out. You can get in later on a break up than that low, but you got to get out. And we had a lot of size looking for that break. We did not get the volume confirmation, the plunge, the capitulation, none of that into that move. And that's a sign that there's buyers here. It's not going lower. And it doesn't even really technically make sense with what we're seeing from Bitcoin. Like we're still breaking down on the daily TTM for Bitcoin. Like the momentum indicators are still pretty bearish here actually. So the daily flipped and the weekly is pulling back. Nonetheless, like this is the day. This isn't the day for the breakdown. Market rallied higher. It's still a pretty muted reaction. Like what we talked about is if we didn't get that breakdown, to maybe look for a potential head and shoulders to form and see if we can get some resistance off this trend line, and we'll watch that. But important thing to note there because that saved us a lot of money. And sometimes, I mean, honestly, the path from being a bad trader to at least a profitable trader is literally just not losing money, right? It's like when you're trying to get better at chess. You don't focus on making brilliant moves when you're trying to get better at chess. You focus on not making shit moves, not giving away pieces for free. And trading is the same exact way. That is your order of operations towards improvement. So um, that's what we got to also talk about. We don't. I didn't go ahead and set up some swing positions in IWM. I set up a huge swing position on Ethereum because the reasons we talked about that went higher. And this just looks like it's setting up this beautiful cup and handle. I really hope I'm not repeating myself. I feel like I'm repeating myself. Maybe it's just because I've talked about this 15 times. Breaking these massive key levels. Small caps look like they want to go much higher. Yeah, small count is actually, so let's double check. I'm trying to find what the all-time high is because I don't remember. This is it. So our all-time high was 2,576. And we're currently sitting at 2,395. So we're 182 points, dollars off the all-time high of the small account. And that's not bad. That's not bad at all. We could definitely make some magic with this and reclaim that pretty quick tomorrow now that we've got greater clarification on the market. Hopefully. I mean, it's not impossible that they rug this, but today's price action does not say rug is coming. Today's price action, this strength into seasonal weakness, is crazy strong. And so I actually think that moves are going to get a lot easier from here, and that this is like 2020. Really, I mean, this looks like this is the beginning of a crazy year. In fact, let's just real quick. I don't even, let's just check my memory. Let's just check my memory of, that's not even it. It's funny how that looks like COVID. September. So what we want is monthly, and then so August was a super green year in 2020, and then September gave a pullback. So it looks like September even started out pretty bullish, and then you got the pullback later in September, and you did a 12% retracement, which isn't bad at all. That's definitely not like 2023. Where August began, this is actually more normal. August begins the weakness, carries over into October. That's actually a 10% downtrend. Okay, then tell me, what did 11% move to the upside coming in November? And it even looks here like this is technically just sideways price action, so it looks like this was pretty messy, looking at where the bodies of the candles are. And then if we look back at September to 2028, this was an up year. 2028. In 2018, we have an up month on September. In fact, slightly green. Oh, I just lost it. Here it is. August bullish, and then big plunge. This is flash crash at the end of December. This month was actually mostly bullish. And then you got that crazy flash crash, and then steadily recovered after the Fed pivoted on their comments. 2019, you got a nice continuation all the way through until February when COVID hit. Wow, guys. Curious. All right, let's look at actually heading into. So that August was a huge sell-off. So this plunge is people thinking the bubble's popping, but it was really just that midway point. So this was a bullish September after August pulled back. This was bearish. So this came out flat. What's this candle look like so far? This is such an atypical year. This is so atypical. Bears are people who've been trying to stay straight bearish are mad. And I've tried some bearish plays. Like we had the VIX. We closed all our VIX today. And in fact, what did that heat map even look like today? So VIX now, all new lows. I almost said all-time lows, which is definitely not true. I remember the days when VIX used to trade at like 7, 8. I mean, just a sea of green. A sea of green. Everywhere you look, a sea of green. Mega green. The risk on trade is back into this crazy seasonal weakness. I mean, when you get price action like this into seasonal weakness, it makes it that much more significant. Oh, so this was actually, the close today was a major fib level that we had set on SPIX. I mean, this has to be completely redone though. Completely redone. So like this is, we probably still get a pullback in September. It'd be wild if we didn't. But for the rest of this month, maybe we go a little bit higher. Actually, I really don't. That is really significant. Let's actually just get this out of here because that needs to be recounted anyways. We need to redo this. If you guys want me to do this in these videos rather than on my own and then post it, you should tell me. Let's keep that level here because that's an important level. That's what I think the all-time high for the end of the year is. So we'll be looking to see if like this key fib level, this is the pullback. Need to be in log. Why did it do a whole new one? $5,100 is crazy. So if we just do a smaller pullback from this level, one, two, three. Oh, so we're looking for this is the larger wave trend. That's right. I just deleted the smaller one. I think the smaller one counts from here. So this is the 1, 2, 3, 4. So then 3 would be back further back here, and then this would be completion of the 5. So yes, we would pull back to here, and then we would do 5,800. Maybe even just pull back to the 786 as well. So we'll be looking for this area, this broad range, to be the fourth wave come September. You didn't reverse the monthly here, but it's important to note that you did on Qs. So now I'm just gonna, this is a light suggestion. This isn't the based outcome anymore. Not until this turns out to be a fake out. And this looks brilliant from the small caps. That's a nice bullish divergence. Look really nice. And you're about to get it high. It's a healthy RSI structure on the weekly, bullish divergence on the daily. 65-minute needs a bit of a pullback, but you could easily get that pullback on Monday and have it just back test this major key level and then launch right off of it. So be aware of that because that could be wild. What a day, man. What a day. And I'm sorry, I said I wasn't going to do this, and then I ended up doing the full count. But that's what you'd look for if you want to be bearish into next month. That's what you're hunting for. But right now, bearishness, not a base case. This is a sea of green. Market loves to rug when no one expects it. So maybe that's what we'll see. Because that is a major fib level that we've been looking for a while. That we tapped recently. I'm curious. Did we tap that today? We tapped that a while ago. We did. So I just made a double top there. So honestly, you want to see if we can catch an extension to it. Very simple. Very, very simple. Like this is now your huge alert level. Break to the double top, chase it higher. Easy, simple. I think that's what we're going to walk away with. Wild day. Wild outcome. Markets, as soon as you think you got things mapped out, they love to humble you. That's how the game goes. We made a small amount and I'm at a loss. for the swing account because of the unfortunate outcome of VKTX, but it's still in bullish there. And the random rug on Intel. There's probably just too much retail in there and they rugged it. I'm trying to see if we've got it up anywhere. We've got it up right here. This brutal rug, after this amazing news, you get this nice, really solid pump through some major key levels. And then you end up just rugging all the way back below it and faking out the daily breakdown here. This fake out when it was forming here, it looks bullish. You got a hammer into a green candle, bullish. But this was mega bearish when it was forming. Like the breakdown on the daily, the TTM was breaking down, the RSI structure was breaking down. It was ugly. One of the most brutal fake outs ever. And that's like one of the major reasons I'm saying that this week was such a massive slugfest. My ring just fell off my fingernail to the floor. But we ended up getting recovery. Anyway, it's 4:20 now. Who knows how long I've been sitting here doing a review, but it's too long. It's Friday. Go enjoy your Friday. Go enjoy your week. If you're frustrated about the week, if you're feeling some FOMO, release those. It's okay to feel those emotions, but release those emotions because we come back Monday to a market that's going to be a lot smoother than what we had this week. So if you survived this week, you've done the hard part. Good job. All right. God bless, guys. See you Monday.